Hi, my name's Dee and welcome to Sunchild Tarot. Now, I don't normally do a bulk intro for my monthlies. I normally just dive straight into my waffle. But if you've been following this channel, then you're well aware that the month of January I've been mainly offline due to technical issues. Let's to put it mildly. My laptop completely, well, not completely, but practically melted down. I've had to rebuild it. So yeah, so I'm finally back up and running now that we've just passed the full moon in Leo. So I missed the new moon. I missed the full moon. I missed the Mars square Uranus and the Mars square, the Great Conjunction activation point, which I have a note about. If you saw my show with David Fisher, the astrologer, when we did the 2020 season finale, we was talking about the astrological associations with the Great Conjunction, obviously. And David asked me if I had anything in my comics astrology, because he knows that's something I like to look into, the charts of fictional characters, because fiction has a huge purpose and force in our life. I mean, look what's happened this month. Fiction is powerful. And I came up with the Neptune of a obscure, or then obscure, Superman villain Dominus, who on the day of the January the it was the 6th, wasn't it? And the invasion of the capital and the Mars square Uranus and the Mars square, the conjunction, grand conjunction point. Dominus, not seen for 22 years, suddenly makes a reappearance in DC Comics in a new universe defining series after they've just rebooted their continuity once again. So I was right. I've no idea what I was right about, but I was right. So if you're watching this for tarot, we'll get to that in a moment. Obviously, the reading is for the sign that's in your title. I will try and get as many of these uploaded as fast as possible and filmed as fast as possible. I advise that you watch your sun sign, your rising sign, and your moon sign. They might not all be there. If you're early in the Zodiac, the others might not be up yet. But if you can only watch one, watch your rising sign. That I feel is if you know it, then that's the most important one to look at. Of course, there is a link in the description below to get yourself a free birth chart from Cafe Astrology or AstroSeek. AstroSeek's my favorite. And if you want to contact me, there's a link down there for the Facebook page for this channel. So it's got an inbox. You can contact me there for a private reading. Obviously, it's a general reading, so don't live your life by it. Listen to the words, see if they work for you, and then have a think about them. Because, as I say, I was offline for all of January, but I also partly got through the guidance, the intuition, because I'm about to use the word twice, the intuition that it's okay, because there's been so much going on in the sky, and let's face it, down on the face of the planet, that I got the feeling that we'd had enough guidance for a while. It was time for us to make our own decisions about things. And that's what I think this full moon has been about it looking at the full moon and the various angels associated with the positions of the planets. Most of them appear to be associated with new moons and full moons coming up later this year. It's almost like that full moon in Leo was defining something about the rest of the year. A lot of the astrologers are saying, and I haven't shared their videos yet on my Facebook page, but I'll get around to it, I hope. A lot of the astrologers are saying that this full moon is the completion of, or even acknowledgement and completion of, healing work that we've already been doing with all the astrology over the past few months. I think that's fair enough, because I got this real sense of new beginning, but it's not a new beginning out of nowhere. It's a new beginning based on getting to that level, like I'll say about the Page of Wands, level 1 complete, level 2 starts here. So I apologise for not doing the new moon and full moon readings. I did loads of work on the full moon to try and work out all the ins and outs of it, and then the computer just still let me down. I'm not sure if I even dare say I plan to live stream, because every time I say that, my computer packs up one way or another, and we are about to head into a Mercury retrograde. In fact, that might be today or tomorrow. Oh no, tell a lie, it's on the 30th. But anyway, that's enough waffle out of me. Like I said, general reading rules apply. Roles can be reversed. Timing's far from absolute. And I've waffled quite long enough. So hit that like button, as Philly D says. Subscribe, because it does help the channel. And sit back and enjoy your reading. All right. Okay, Pisces, before we actually dive into all these cards, what I would normally have said in my introduction video is ask a question beforehand. Take a moment, think about all the questions that are around you. Be aware of them all, because cards will answer what they want, but focus upon one of them. It gives energy to the process, and hopefully I will return that to you. And bear in mind, whether you are Pisces Sun or Pisces Rising, all of this activity is happening in your 12th house or your 12th solar house, depending on, irrespectively, if you know what I mean. So it's all about the letting go and the deep secrets and the real deep inner work. So let's see what the cards have got to say. So we have take time to breathe out. With disseminating moon, we have Asalia here with contemplation. There's a theme growing, isn't there? And that is looking like it's really important, because the god that has its eye on Pisces this month apparently is the Titan Epimetheus, who is known as Afterthought and is famous for his carelessness and not thinking things through. So there's a warning with Epimetheus here that you need to think things through, and then two cards saying take time to think things through and then actually think things through. But because there's going to be some, I don't want to say upsets, but maybe upsets, but surprises along the path for you this month with the unexpected visitors card. But you're hopefully coming up to a healing time, and this whole process is for a healing time. So with the Four of Swords at the end, I'm thinking that this isn't one of those readings that just spirals onwards into the future. It is very much concentrated on the period of time in which you've been led to it. I mean, theoretically, February 2021, but hey, you might be watching this later. Who knows? It's unlikely, but you might be. We also have from the Angelarium Oracle, Keter, spirituality, the crown of the tree of life, the head's top most divine of the Sephiroth. So there are signals to gain your own freedom. Flying free card here. Oh, that's glowing, isn't it? Reflecting, sorry. That there's a lot of inner work for you to be doing in the meantime. Now, it does look like even at the moment you are being reminded of a lot of things in the past with the Six of Cups here, and being given the choice to make a commitment to stick with something from the past or whether to have a new beginning. Fool and Four of Wands, clarifying it. However, how you're feeling at the moment seems to be like, it's a Two of Swords, but it's quite a harassed Two of Swords. But I always feel that the lady in this card is very, very, very competent. So if she's wearing the blindfold, she's wearing it for a reason. Sometimes I see those ravens as weaving the threads around her at her behest. This time I'm seeing them as being a right pain, to be quite honest. They are an obstacle, they are a pain, they're like, all right, They are like competing wisdoms that are tying you up in knots and enabling you to feel like you are under attack when your intuition is telling you that you should be taking charge of this situation, exhibiting your own power and accessing your own power. But this Page of Swords is telling me that there's a lot more to learn here, and you very much need to learn, use your intuition to dig into your own nightmares. It's cheerful for you, but it's a 12th house month. Everything in Aquarius is in your 12th house. What's led you up here? Because I feel that there had been... Ooh, now. It's almost like... I should stop saying that. It's like... It felt like the world had opened up to you. That there was... That either you were that stable person, grounded, able to move forward, or that stable person was an influence around you that you could work with and present them with a good idea to move forward in life with. You know, so this is either you or someone that you had recruited in a way that brought a sense of wish fulfillment around for you. It made you look at and question what precisely did you want out of life, out of the situation, out of the topic relevant to your question, whichever. And it offered a lot of it. We've got 9 of Cups, 10 of Cups here. You know, wish fulfillment and better than wish fulfillment with the Hermit card. And this Hermit, wonderful as they are at finding their own light, they look blooming miserable. And maybe you can't see, I'll bring that a bit closer. No, it's not focusing. But yeah, looking at their face, they're not the most cheerful of souls. And they seem to be... Oh, how bizarre. They're carrying a lantern, but for a moment it looks like a little house on a plate. So there's... This Hermit is like... No, I want to be alone. Sort of, you know, emo drama. Even though there's a lot of good work happening, but it's a lot of good work hidden behind a lot of black eye makeup and black clothing and black this, black that, black the other. Because, you know, and probably an incredibly white foundation to make them look pale to emphasize the black. However... Oh, I think you've been going through a whole number of circumstances which, on first glance, they actually were, well, on first glance, they were quite surprising, you know, a bit left field, out of nowhere, but they each gave promise to a situation. They gave promise of reward, and you tackled them in a traditional fashion, using your learning, gaining learning from somewhere, and you were gaining learning from out of that emo phase. So I really, emotional emo phase. I really feel that emo phase has finished now, but the processing of all of it has not quite finished, because there's still these nightmares to work through. But we've got the World card here, the World card here. The world has been pushing you in a certain direction, and you've maybe not taken the opportunity that the world has been giving you, because we have the Hanged Man here, which is an element of, yeah, I still don't see it. It still doesn't look right. It still doesn't feel right. And the Devil card here. Capricorn energies, because of course, you know, because, I mean, has March 2020 finished yet? But there's almost, I feel like there's an element within you where you're just going, la, 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 not listening, even though there's a few things that have been spelt out to you. And this search for stuff in the past, doesn't, or the reminiscence of things past, doesn't actually seem to be bringing you any answers as to how you want things to be, how you want to move forward, how you want to express that power that you know you have, even while you're feeling under attack. So I want to use this bottom card. Let's have we've got Belial with Judgment. And Belial is very much a fan of getting you to examine all your preconceptions and what have you. So the blocks that you've been feeling, the worries that you've been feeling, they've been coming up to you for basically for you to finally deal with once and for all, because the phase that we're going into, so now it gets more cheerful. The phase that we're going into is King of Cups. King of Cups, Four of Pentacles, but I always think this particular Four of Pentacles is incredibly liberating. It's less about defending and protecting and more about just being able to protect because the elements are working with you. And then we have the Knight of Pentacles, slow progress is being made. Now, this Knight of Pentacles is someone who is also on a mission. They're on a very long-term mission. They're not in a hurry. But wherever they're heading, they will get to. And that's you. You will get there. And it's almost as if this reading has been saying, okay, so far you've been given lots of opportunities for healing all sorts of shit. Sorry, YouTube. But, oops. But there's been part of you that's going, yeah, not listening. And so now that's why there's that underlying unease and that sense of feeling under attack. However, now this is nice. And I think this is where the unexpected visitors thing is coming in. I feel that your sphere of influence is going to be expanding. So that could be new social connections or renewed social connections, considering it's Mercury retrograde at the most of this month, where you are coming face to face with your peers, feeling maybe a little apprehensive and a little defensive, but there's also a sense of reporting for duty. And nobody's really in charge. Nobody has power over anybody else. You are stepping up and accepting responsibilities, yes. So say it's a team of 7, since it's 7 of Wands. All of the other 6 are your boss. But you are also the boss of all of the other 6, if you see what I mean. Because any one person, the other 6 people are their boss because of the expectations of the team. So you are slotting in and you are working with expectations that aren't like societal things that you want to rebel against or anything like that. It's like you have the ability to deal with such and such an issue, and therefore the rest of the team expect you to deal with that issue because it's your expertise, it's your ballywick, it's your job. They would make a mess of it and you're far better at it. So why aren't you doing it? So there's that one, it's a real sense of, I don't want to say clockwork and cogs meshing. I suppose teamwork is the best way to put it. And this is setting something right for you. 7 of Wands, again, there's that team going on, but also you are gaining a chance to excel in other people's eyes, gaining a chance to gain some standing. It's not that you're better than them or that they're better than you, but they get to praise you for the things that you do well. And you get to see the same of them, one would assume. But it is taking you to a better place where it looks like you then have a confidence crisis, because why wouldn't you, Pisces? 9 of Swords. But again, I've got a feeling, a link from this Nine of Swords card to this Two of Swords. There's that sense of being harassed or under attack, but someone is able to all those things. So yeah, Nine of Swords here, Nine of Swords here. All those feelings come up again because yeah, Mercury retrograde. All of those feelings are coming up again. This time, King of Swords here, for you to have the clarity to go, that's nonsense, that's nonsense, that needs dealing with. Oh, I didn't realize I felt like that. Let me figure out why. I know why I feel like that. Let me pack it in. And knocking what, because it's 9 off all these swords, knocking these things off one after another, after another, after another, and pursuing that that magician card, pursuing that sense of power. And yes, you're worried that it's down to you. And there's the magician in your hopes and fears as well. And you're worried that it's all down to you and that you haven't got the ability to overcome this pain. And of course it's all down to you. Of course it is. But there's a good team around you that you can learn things by watching them. There's a lot of healing on offer here. I also feel that there is one person who is around you. Ooh, now, figure this one out. Influence of other people. 5 of Swords. Okay, you're rowing with them. 8 of Cups. You're walking away from them or they're walking away from you. Probably as a result of the rows that you have. 9 of Cups. Wish fulfillment. So that's all 3 Nine of Cups cards you've got in this spread, which in and of itself is a positive sign. But it's also a point that, when I was saying you're having your panic attacks and you was going through your emo goth phase and your emotional emo goth phase, sorry. And some Earthies, it looks like my phone's died. Oh well. Some of these cards are implying that some of this stress is something that you wished for. And there's 2 levels that you can do that. One, it's that you're self-creating it for yourself. 2, it's coming up because it needs you to resolve it, and parts of you have willed this to come to the surface so that you can deal with it. And 3, it's part of what you chose to go through before you came to the planet, before you incarnated. So there's wish fulfillment all round, there's a glass for everybody. But this is a healing time. Oh, look at this. Right. Your final cards, 4 of Swords, Ace of Swords, Queen of Pentacles. A healing time with clarity and nurturing is coming your way. If you are... So all of these nightmares that come up and these anxieties that come up this month, dive into them and dive through them. What is it? Dune, they're remaking Dune now at the moment. So think of the litany against fear. I let it pass over me and through me. And when it has gone, only I remain. There's, let's see, you've got to make the decision for the transformation here. But you make that decision, and there is spiritual support, there is physical support. We've got 2 star. We've got 2 star cards here in your potential future positions, with King of Pentacles, the person who's all that. Whether that's you or whether that's someone who's standing by your side. If they're stood by your side, you're very lucky. They are well worth it. They are good support. And if it's you, well done, because you're getting there. Because King of Wands, my favourite card. There is with the star card again. So take all the cues, take all the hint, and whatever you do, take time to think. Is there anything else that I've missed here? We have the Archangel Metatron, which again shows that all of this is a guided experience. So it looks like you may be having some real emotional lows, but I'm not talking like emotional lows for a week or 2 weeks. I'm talking about dive in, dive out, dive in, dive out. And again, that sounds a bit bipolar, I know, and that's not how I'm meaning it either. It's dive in, understand it, back to the surface for air, next one, and then next one, as if you're doing the breaststroke and you're coming up for your air when you need it. We have the Archangel Metatron. I am united with the source of all goodness, love, and creativity. This is a quick crash course for you to help you finish up all the things that probably in your head you think you should have already done. But I would actually want to ask you, are you sure about that? Or is it that you have been deliberately saving them up till right now because now's the best time to sort them all out? So, cheerful month for you, Pisces, but so rewarding, so healing, and some beautiful surprise friends coming. That's lovely. All right, go watch your Moon and Rising. I'll see you later. Cheers.